Chapter 1, verse 3.
The entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
Allah, the Exalted, has countless divine qualities, but only two of them have been mentioned in this verse. The first is the most compassionate. The other is that Allah, the Exalted, is the most merciful. There are many possible interpretations of these two divine qualities. One is that Allah, the Exalted, is the most compassionate towards all of creation in this world, but He is the most merciful to the Muslims in both this world and in the hereafter. This is supported by chapter 33, verse 43.
And ever is He to the believers merciful.
The divine name most compassionate is exclusive to Allah, the Exalted. Therefore, no one else should be named this. This is because the most compassionate means the being whose mercy encompasses all. Such a characteristic can only be possessed by Allah, the Exalted. A person can only have the most compassionate in their name if their full name is the servant of the most compassionate. On the other hand, the merciful has been attributed to others, such as the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Chapter 9, verse 128.
There has certainly come to you a messenger from among yourselves. Grievous to him is what you suffer. He is concerned over you, and to the believers is kind and merciful.
The most merciful in respect to Allah, the Exalted, means the one who does countless favors and is benevolent towards others. When used in reference to the creation, it means soft-hearted and compassionate. This is a quality all Muslims must strive to achieve if they desire to be treated with mercy by Allah, the Exalted, the most merciful. This has been advised in a narration found in Sunan Abu Dawood, number 4941. In addition, the most compassionate indicates the overwhelming compassion and love for his creation, and the most merciful stresses its continuity, consistency and constancy. A Muslim must adopt these qualities by looking at the creation through the eye of mercy and by treating them with mercy and compassion whether they are obedient or sinful. Many narrations, such as the one found in Sahih Muslim, number 6030, indicate that the one who does not show mercy to others will not be shown mercy by Allah, the Exalted. So it is vital for Muslims to show mercy to all through their actions, such as financial and physical help, and through their words, such as supplicating for them. Islam in fact rewards a Muslim who shows mercy to all living things, such as animals. This has been confirmed in a narration found in Sunan Abu Dawood, number 2550. In addition, the mercy they show should not be selective or occasional. Instead, they should strive to demonstrate mercy at all times with all of creation. In addition, it is believed that these two divine qualities of Allah, the Exalted, have been mentioned straight after the previous verse, which declares the lordship of Allah, the Exalted, in order to create a balance between fear and hope. Chapter 1, verse 2.
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds.
When one truly believes that Allah, the Exalted, is the Lord of the worlds, it will encourage them towards fearing Him. If a person is inviting punishment when they cross the limits of a worldly king, can one imagine the seriousness of crossing the limits set by the Lord of the worlds? So in order to balance this, fear Allah, the Exalted, mention these two divine qualities of hope, so that people understand that even though the punishment of Allah, the Exalted, is severe, He is also the most merciful and most compassionate. But it is important for Muslims not confuse true hope in Allah, the Exalted, with wishful thinking. In a narration found in Jami'at Tirmizi, number 2459, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, describe the difference between true hope in the mercy of Allah, the Exalted, and wishful thinking. True hope is when one controls their soul by avoiding the disobedience of Allah, the Exalted, and actively struggles for preparing for the hereafter, whereas the foolish wishful thinker follows their desires and then expects Allah, the Exalted, to forgive them and fulfill their wishes. It is important for Muslims not to confuse these two attitudes, so that they avoid living and dying as a wishful thinker, as this person is highly unlikely to succeed in this world or the next. Wishful thinking is like a farmer who fails to prepare the land for planting, fails to plant seeds, fails to water the land, and then expects to harvest a huge crop. This is plain foolishness, and this farmer is highly unlikely to succeed. Whereas, true hope is like a farmer who prepares the land, plants seeds, waters the land, and then hopes Allah, the Exalted, will bless them with a huge harvest. The key difference is that the one who possesses true hope will actively strive to obey Allah, the Exalted, by fulfilling His commands, refraining from His prohibitions, and by facing destiny with patience according to the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And whenever they slip up, they sincerely repent. Whereas, the wishful thinker will not actively strive in obeying Allah, the Exalted, and instead follow their desires and still expect Allah, the Exalted, to forgive them and fulfill their wishes. Muslims must therefore learn the key difference so that they can abandon wishful thinking and instead adopt true hope in Allah, the Exalted, which always leads to nothing except good and success in both worlds. This has been indicated in a hadith found in Sahih Baqarah, number 7405. A specific type of wishful thinking which affected the past nations and even the Muslim nation is when a person believes that they can ignore the commands and prohibitions of Allah, the Exalted, and somehow someone on the Day of Judgment will intercede for them and save them from hell. Even though the intercession of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is a fact and has been discussed in many narrations, such as the one found in Sunan ibn Majah, number 4308. Nonetheless, even with his intercession, some Muslims whose punishment will be reduced by it will still enter hell. Even a single moment in hell is truly unbearable. So one should abandon wishful thinking and instead adopt true hope by practically striving in the obedience of Allah, the Exalted. The devil convinces those who do not believe in Judgment Day that even if it occurs they will make peace with Allah, the Exalted, on that day by claiming that they were not so bad as they avoided major crimes such as murder. They have convinced themselves that their pleas will be accepted and they will be sent to paradise even though they disbelieved in Allah, the Exalted, during their lives on earth. This is incredibly foolish, as Allah, the Exalted, will not treat the person who believed in Him and tried to obey Him like the one who disbelieved in Him. A single verse has erased this type of wishful thinking. Chapter 3, verse 85.
Every soul will taste death, and you will only be given your full compensation on the day of resurrection. So he who is drawn away from the fire and admitted to paradise has attained his desire. And what is the life of this world except the enjoyment of delusion?